So you finally got the handlebars of your dreams. Now you call around the shops and realize they want anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 to put them on. Let me show you how I saved $1,000 by doing most of the work myself. Let's go. All right, guys, so today what we're looking at doing is actually changing out the handlebars on my Road Glide. Shout out to my uncle, past caretaker. So what we got here, like I said, this is my baby here. I got it from him before he actually got his big dog chopper. So I bought it, had it shipped down, and man, amazing bike so far. I'm in Texas, so the longest trip I've taken so far is a 12-hour turnaround. Let's come over and let me show you exactly what we're gonna be doing, or actually adding to it. So I got a partner's, my daughter's godfather is in from Cali, and as you can see, these are my 20-inch all chrome dominoes right here. Let's get started. I'm gonna walk through it. Since I don't have anyone to hold the actual camera, you guys can do this because I'm actually doing it at home. Because I've called around in the shops in Texas and they want about $1,300 to put on a pair of handlebars, which is crazy. Definitely gonna need some sockets. You definitely wanna lock in some good tools, and it's small enough to go in the tote pack as well. All right, so that's always a good thing. And keep your water if it's hot. Make sure you're on top of that. One thing you're gonna need to know, you will need a new brake cable and a longer clutch cable for this. If you have this is a 2016 special, so it has this, just the factory. It will not reach up to my bars here. As you can tell, these, I don't even know if they're what, 10s or 12s, whatever. They're factory. So one of the things you're gonna need to know is, do you have ABS brakes? And from watching the shows, YouTube, one of the guys said, if you have a secondary line here, right here, you notice I have two coming off of the actual, brake lines. So one of them is supposed to be going to the ABS sensor, which is probably this one down here, if you can see that in the middle down there that I'm pushing on. So you're gonna be looking for that. If you're not sure, man, take it up to a shop and just ask, hey man, do I have ABS brakes? So you can Google it or whatever, but this should give you another idea. If you're not sure about the ABS, the easiest way probably to find that out is to come on this side, take your bags off. This panel here, and this is the right side if you're standing behind the bike. Take your bags off, your pegs down, pull this panel. You see a big aluminum piece with a round bezel in the middle, you have ABS, congratulations. What's the first steps that you should take? Me personally, I started here. So up here on the gauge mounts, you'll notice there's a little hole right here, it's already a screw. And on the opposite side over here, there's another screw just like it. So you're gonna need to go ahead and take those out. After that, in order to get this out, you're gonna need to turn this like so, or you can turn the other way. Right? If you want to turn that way, it's fine. And then you're gonna pull off just like this, right? Now, mind you, I had a little piece here, and I'm gonna show you that piece right here, which is this. This was actually under here, like so. And if you don't know how to get that off, if you look on the back, it just has this level right here. And if you stick a little pick or a screwdriver, flathead, gently in, you can prop this up and it'll just slide out. If you need to, turn your bars. Just turn your bars this way, and it'll give you some more room so you can see what it looks like. I'm gonna put it back just for the look for you. So that's what it'll look like, right? If I was putting it back on, similar to that, you can see the little bevel down at the bottom here, and that's where you stick your screwdriver, pop it up, and then just pull it out gently. So once you get this out, you're just gonna have to wiggle a little bit, and eventually, as you can tell, it's popping up. Doing this with one hand, so bear with me. But it'll pop up and you see it slides right over, just like that. You see that? It slides right over that gently. All right, and now it exposes the backside. Now, what I would tell you, you're gonna run into the connection. So there's one big connection here. Some bikes have three, as you can tell. One is here, Let me see if I can re-angle this. How about that jug right there? So here's one on this side, and I'll go over there and do this again. One here, and then one right here. Move my big hand out the way. This is the last one. So you got one, this is two, and then you got number 3 down here. All right, you just lift up on this little lever here. See that right there? Lift up, and then you slide it out. All right. So get your little screwdriver. Do not break the clips. They are really expensive at the dealership. All right. Okay, so I've actually came to the other side so you can see it a little better. So again, here's the first one. Here's your middle. And here's number 3 over here. Okay, so now that we got this open a little bit, before we do anything else, let's get the seat off. Let's get the bags off. This is the panel we were talking about on the right side from the rear of the vehicle, from the motorcycle. And you just pull on it here, down here, and on this side, and it pops out. Try not to break the pegs. You don't want those problems. Okay, and what do you know? This is the module I was telling you about. This is your ABS system right there. All right, if you never took your seat off before, on your tour pack, just lift it up, your flap for the seat. And you see that screw right there, you're gonna need to get that out. Okay, so once you got that screw out, and hopefully you got you one of these little things here. Keep this, get you one of these Harbor Freight or somewhere. Some screws cost way too much a holiday to have to rebuy. So the next step from here is to get a hold of your seat and start pulling back. Start pulling back. Eventually, the back is gonna do this. It's gonna lift up. It's gonna lift up. It's gonna give you access. Now, I have a backrest, so now I have to go in here and pull this out. Okay, guys, so we got the seat all the way up. Had to do a little wiggling around and all that good stuff. But here's the thing, if you happen to have one of the newer model backrests, then I'm sure you how to take this off without taking all of that off, all right? So we don't wanna do that. So all you have to do is lift up the flap here, then get your Allen key right here for this, and screw that out. Comes with one bolt on the other side. And once you go ahead and pull this out, which is a little bit tougher than it seems for some reason, then you just go ahead and you lift off. And that's how you get that off. So now, we'll go ahead and take the seat off. You see I already got the front part up, and the back part is up, as you can tell. And then we just finished lifting it on off the bike, like so. But there you go. I'll get on the other side and take this bag off, and I'll cut you back on. All right, so you're probably wondering why I just went through the trouble of doing all of that just to get to this point. But the reason being is because we want to come in here and we want to disconnect your battery, all right? So your bike is going to be down for a minute. Don't trip. As long as you got your fob, you should be fine. If you want to double check, call the dealership and get your code if you need be, if you're going to be down a while. So right now, I'm not taking it all the way down, but just enough to show you what's going on. So as you can tell, the ABS lines you can see here are running into the back, but 9 out of 10 times, this is gonna be the one that actually you're gonna be dealing with. And this little plastic piece in here that sits there and basically is a spacer between the different cables that are coming in, all right? With that being said, the next step for us, I gotta go somewhere and handle some business, but we'll be back. But I wanna show you what's next, and that's the tank. So there are 4 bolts in the tank, one here, right? And they're identical on both sides. Now if you get down here, like on my bike, whoever had it took pretty good care of it, obviously it was my uncle. But these right here, little divots, they're just covering your screw. That's your other tank screw. And on the other side, you're gonna have the exact same thing. Before I took the tank off, this gray one here is for your fuel injection. I've already taken that loose. I'm gonna come here and take that big 50 amp out. That's your main fuse. But check your make and model, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the same as well. And I'll do that, and then once I do that, I'll start taking off the bolts and stuff for the tank. All right, so most of you probably weren't wondering, why do I got this 550 cord or this bungee cord? We call it 550 in the military. But the reason I have it is I'm about to measure Had to stop you right here. Don't want you to make the same mistake I did. Well, it really wasn't a mistake, but let's just say there were about 15 more minutes of a clip of me trying to measure out the handlebars and the brake cable lines, on the brake lines and the clutch line, all the way back to the ABS system, right? At the end of the day, they're both going to be extended by the same amount. So what does that mean for you? That means if you have 10-inch bars on your bike now, or 12-inch bars, or 16 or whatever, all you do is take the differences from the number of inches of the bars you want to put on to the ones that you have. So what does that mean? The brake and the cable lines typically come in extended versions of 8 and 10 inches. I ordered the 8 inches because I had 12-inch bars on my bike currently. They work fine, no problems. If you're not sure, I always get the longer ones, which would be the 10. I imagine the price is different. I never ordered the 10 before. But I wanted to tell you that so you don't waste time trying to run a string all the way down or break out the measuring tool or any of that dumb shit. That's it. I'm gonna bleep that out. So you don't have to go through all of that, all right? To save you some time. So that's what that blue string is on the screen right there. You don't need it. Too easy.